The following is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
The Boston Bruins have had 27 consecutive winning seasons, and Adam Oates has been a major reason for this one. He's fourth in the NHL in scoring, going over 100 points for the fourth time in the last 5 years. But two of his star teammates are injured, so Oates and the Bruins are counting on the young Cubs to come through. There's rookie Brian Smolinski and second-year forward Ted Donato, the only Bruins to play in every game this season. The Philadelphia Flyers had hoped their young star, Eric Lindros, would lead them to the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. But the Flyers' chances may have been crunched last Monday in Winnipeg when Lindros suffered a shoulder injury. Without him, 103-point scorer Mark Recchi must lead the way. But time is running out on the Flyers and coach Terry Simpson, whose team is 3 points out of the last playoff spot with only 3 games left. It's the Philadelphia Flyers and the Boston Bruins today as the NHL heads towards the playoffs on ABC Sports. Welcome live to the Spectrum in Philadelphia, where this afternoon the Flyers meet the Boston Bruins. Hello, everyone, and welcome to ABC's coverage of the National Hockey League. I'm Sam Rosen. This afternoon, it's a game the Philadelphia Flyers must have if they hope to make the playoffs. For the Boston Bruins, they are a team jockeying for position in the Eastern Conference standings, looking for home ice advantage in the first round. The Bruins are 6th right now, but a win today would jump them into the 4th spot. For the Philadelphia Flyers, they must win and get help from other teams if they hope to climb over both Florida and the New York Islanders. I'm joined once again by Joe Micheletti, and this will be a tough task for the Flyers because they're without their star, Eric Lindros.
Yeah, on this Philadelphia team, there are 4 teams in the National Hockey League that have allowed 300 goals or more. The Flyers are one of them, but they can score goals. And with Lindros out of the lineup, they're going to have to look to Rod Brind'Amour. He's been the hottest Flyer, 38 points in the last 24 games.
Brind'Amour had been playing left wing with Eric Lindros. Today, he'll see center ice position action. For the Boston Bruins, they were shut out yesterday afternoon at home, but Coach Brian Sutter isn't concerned about the scoring. He's concerned about the goals the Bruins are giving up.
Yeah, this has been a team that's really been built on defense for the most part, and their goaltending has been pretty good, but shaky as of late. They're going to turn to Vincent Riendeau. Casey's been pulled 3 of the last 4 games. Riendeau, his last start on the 22nd of March, will get a try today.
The Bruins are still without their superstar defenseman, Ray Bourque. It's affected their play of late. Brenda Brennan will join us in just a moment to talk about the absent superstar of the Boston Bruins. We'll be back with the Bruins and Flyers in just a moment.
Ms. Jansen?
I think so.
Boy, you look tired.
I am tired.
Tell us about your HP LaserJet printer.
My HP LaserJet?
Yeah.
That is the last thing on my mind right now. I've got a quarterly report due tomorrow morning at 8.
But at some point, you'll use the LaserJet
To make salsa.
Oh, no, to print.
Yes.
And you feel confident that the LaserJet will perform?
Absolutely. 9.5, 9.5, 10.
Great, great. So you don't have to worry about getting that report printed.
No. Why are you so negative?
HP LaserJet printers. You do your job, we'll do ours.
Can you do mine?
441. No, that's not it. 451. No, that's that stupid screen pass. I can't remember the number. I better call an audible. Call Candace.
So, Steve, you got the tickets?
Okay, Candace, here's the deal. I got 5 on the 40 for the 14th, 3 on the 15th
So good with
6
numbers.
on the 40 for the 14th again.
Call now for the revolutionary voice-activated phone card, only from Sprint.
You can feel the heat, 1,100 degrees, intense heat. The hottest.
We asked some of the hottest guys in town to trade their deodorant for new Degree deodorant.
Body heat activated.
Let's give it a shot.
As your body heat rises, only Degree releases extra protection against odor.
When I heat up, deodorant's going to kick in. Works far better than Speed Stick. Kicked in for me.
Switch to the stick that's body heat activated.
I'm going to stick to Degree. I'd use it. This stuff works. Absolutely.
Cool as ice.
New Degree deodorant for a higher degree of protection.
Here comes a whole new taste breakthrough. It's got less fat and better taste for you. Not a chip off the same old block. That's right. Got new Pringles right crisp. That's right. Less fat and better taste than this. Right. Better taste than let's grease the proofs right. Here you see. That's right. It's not a chip off the same old block. Pringles right crisp. The taste of beer.
Our country's greatest stars take on our reigning national champions in a special competition. It's the Hershey's Kisses Pro-Am Skating Championships next, here on ABC.
Welcome to the final weekend of the NHL regular season. Emotions run high as the push for the playoffs nears an end. This is the NHL on ABC. And welcome once again to our studios in New York. I'm John Saunders. We will keep you up to date with all the games around the National Hockey League today. Some interesting races as we come down to the final week. The New York Islanders trying to solidify a playoff berth. They're up against the Rangers and Mark Messier. Boston goes up against Philadelphia. The Flyers have a shot. They're only 3 points back of a playoff berth. Dallas and St. Louis. Both teams are headed to the playoffs, but Modano and the Stars have been struggling. The Los Angeles Kings are out, but they're up against Jeremy Roenick and Chicago as the Blackhawks try and move their way and continue on to the playoffs. Other games that you'll see today, Tampa Bay and Hartford, Quebec and Buffalo. We will keep you updated on these games as well, and we will see you between periods.
Because many places in the world come with crowbars as standard equipment, the new Volkswagen Jetta comes with an anti-theft alarm system as standard equipment, too.
It's time to catch spring fever at Napa, the place more people rely on to keep their vehicles running and to help them save. Get Napa gas shocks and struts. Buy one and get the second one for half price. Spring is the perfect time for this handy 8-piece cooler combo, just $18.99. And easy-to-use no-touch tire care. Buy one for just $2.99 and get the second one free. So spring into your nearest Napa Auto Parts store today.
Here comes a new taste from the inventor of light beer. Introducing new Light Ice from Miller, the first, the only ice-brewed, less-filling beer. It's 100% ice-brewed for a taste that's more of what you want. Definitely light for less of what you don't.
What kind of beer is that?
It's new Light Ice from Miller.
Oh, so it's my fault.
I didn't say that.
Well, then what do you say?
You don't listen.
You never change. The new Volkswagen Jetta has an adaptive automatic transmission. It senses the way you drive and adjusts to fit your personality.
Maybe you are.
Maybe I'm not. It's a shame we only make cars.
The National Hockey League on ABC. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
Back at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, getting set for the Bruins and the Flyers. And set to go with us once again is Brenda Brennan. Brenda?
Thank you very much, Sam. You know, as we mentioned, the Boston Bruins have been hurting lately. And one of the big reasons why is because Captain Raymond Bourque is hurting. The all-star defenseman suffered sprained medial collateral ligaments in his right knee on March 22nd. Bourque skated Friday for the first time since that injury, taking some tentative strides at Boston Gardens. Now, Bourque's absence has been felt the most on the Bruins power play. I asked Coach Brian Sutter about the Bruins' struggle of late on the power play, going 0 for 28.
Says it all with Raymond right there. Power play is very important this time of year, and yesterday we're 0 for 7 in the power play, and you score at any point in time and in situations that you normally score in with a guy like that there. But all it's allowed us to do, Brenda, is other people to play with some responsibility in those situations.
Raymond Bourque hopes to be ready and rested for the playoffs, and Sam, the Boston Bruins could use them.
Absolutely. We are set to go. Don Koharski is the referee. The Bruins shut out yesterday at home by the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Flyers have won only once in their last 5. The Bruins have won only once in their last 5. But for the Flyers, only 3 games remain in which to climb over the Florida Panthers and the New York Islanders into the final playoff spot. The puck deflected over the boards into the Bruins bench. There is Vincent Riendo in the lineup and getting the first start in a long time for him, Joe.
Yeah, it really has been a long time. In fact, his last win, you have to go back to March 5th, and he's a goaltender that hasn't played much in the last couple of years. Of course, he started his career in Montreal before ending up here, and Tommy Soderstrom, goaltender with 20 wins last season, Sam, just 6 this season. He has
struggled with his confidence, went down to Hershey in the American League for a while, but now he's been the man that Terry Simpson has given the #1 job to of late. This is his sixth consecutive start and his 10th of the last 11 games. Ted Donato is checked along the boards by Mikhail Renberg. Renberg, number 19 for Philadelphia. Mark Recchi put it out in front. Steve Hines sends it across to Brian Smolenski. Smolenski, number 20, with Steve Hines, number 23, and Ted Donato, number 21 for Boston. The Bruins were offside coming across the line. There is young Brian Smolenski. His rookie season has been an excellent one, 29 goals. He is fourth in the NHL among rookies in goals scored. And there's Mikhail Renberg, who is the number one man with 38 goals.
Yeah, he really has been something. 80 points on the season, and when you talk about this Flyer team, inconsistency all season long, but not Renberg. He has been one player that game in and game out has given this team a terrific effort.
Basically rates as the favorite for Rookie of the Year honors. That shot by Adams is stopped by Soderstrom. Moved aside by Kevin Dineen for the Flyers. Dineen, number 11, battling Marius Cherkovsky, number 19. This is Joseph Baranek, number 42. But off to a great start this season with 23 goals in his first 36 games, but has had only 5 in the last 41 games. So whistling for an icing called against the Flyers as they sent the puck in from their side of the red line. 21-year-old Marius Cherkovsky, Polish-born, played in the Swedish Elite League where he was a star, and the Bruins are hoping he'll be a star for them.
Boy, they're buzzing about this kid. Played his first NHL game yesterday against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, he was in the Boston camp 2 years ago for 10 days, did play one preseason game against the New York Islanders, and has since that time been under contract, just finished the playoffs. And this is a kid with a great deal of skill. He's got good size at 6'2", 200 pounds. And they compare him to Jaromir Jagr. I guess when you look at your hair, his hair, anyone would.
It's Adam Oates, number 12, with Marius Cherkovsky, number 19. Dave Reed, number 17 for Boston. Puck moved out by the Flyers. Rod Brindamore, number 17 with it. Joseph Baranek, number 42. And Kevin Dineen, number 11. And Vincent Riendo covers up. Riendo replaced John Casey yesterday, faced 20 shots and stopped them all. The Miller Genuine Craft League leaders among rookies in points. Mikhail Renberg with 80. Alexei Yashin of Ottawa with 78. Jason Arnott of Edmonton with 67. Derek Plant of Buffalo, 56. Alexander Daig of Ottawa with 51. And Brian Smolenski of Boston with 49. Fine array of rookies this season entering the NHL. There's John Casey. He's won 30 games this year, but right now the confidence is a little shaky, Joe.
Well, he talked about his experience going to Minnesota North Sharks for all those years, and now in Boston, more pressure in Boston than he's experienced in his career.
Good save by Riendo on Ryan McGill. Don Sweeney sends it in for Boston. Then it's 40 gone by in the first period. No score in the game. The puck around for Andre Faust, number 36. Left for Gary Galley. Galley, who played 3.5 years for the Boston Bruins before coming to Philadelphia. Played in the NHL All-Star game this year. Puck cleared out by the Bruins. Back for it is Galley being chased by Glenn Murray. Behind the play, Ryan McGill throwing punches with Brent Hughes. An early outbreak of fisticuffs in this one. Less than 2 minutes gone by. Hughes got into a battle yesterday in the game against Tampa Bay. And McGill has turned it around after Hughes had a good start early.
Well, Hughes is the tough guy on this Boston team. In fact, he wasn't expected to make the team, but right on that play, McGill went right after him, pinching in along the boards, and they're really letting these two go at it.
Finally, they fall down from exhaustion. Penalties will be handed out. We'll step out for a moment. Only a minute 57 seconds into the game.
Okay, guys, baseball or bass fishing?
Baseball. Bass fishing.
Hey, guys, watch this.
Miller Lite presents professional baseball. Watson calls for a fresh bass. There's the windup and the fish. It's a high fly bass. Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste and less filling, you can combine anything. Here comes a play at the plate. You're out. Oh, he dropped the bass. Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this? Whoa.
Ryan McGill and Brent Hughes get 5 minutes each for fighting at 1:57.
I think Ryan McGill was trying to get his team fired up. He'll move in along the boards. He's a defenseman moving up on Hughes. And as the puck goes past him and everyone starts going the other way, it's McGill who stays right there. He goes after Hughes. The first one to throw down his gloves is McGill. And that's how the altercation started.
No loss of manpower on the ice. Still skating 5 aside as you look at Brent Hughes. The Flyers have sent out their resident tough guy, Dave Brown. Number 21. He's on with Dave Tippett, number 14. Al Conroy, number 15. Shot by Smolinski. High and wide. He goes all the way out of the zone. Gord Roberts, number 14, who did not play yesterday, back in the lineup. Steve Leach, only his second game back for the Bruins, is missing a long time with 2 separate knee injuries.
Yeah, 39 games on the last 41. Leach has been out of the lineup.
And he's had back-to-back excellent years coming into this season for the Bruins. 31 goals in 26. This is Roberts with the puck for Boston. Dumping it in. Jason Bowen, number 28, young defenseman, bangs with Daniel Marois. After the puck, Steve Leach, number 27. Leach is hit along the boards by Dmitry Yushkevich for Philadelphia, number 2. This is Al Conroy with the puck. Fires ahead. Glenn Wesley for Boston sends it back. And Dmitry Yushkevich will take over. Now Mark Recchi with 103 points on the season. Sending it in, it's stopped by Riendo. He switches hands to move the puck, and it was almost blocked by Rob DeMaio for Philadelphia. Cleared out by Ally Afraidy and played across. Rob Zettler, number 26, with Yves Racine, number 29 on defense for Philadelphia. Renberg sending it in. Recchi goes for the puck. And gave it away to Ally Afraidy. Adam Oates trying to clear, kept in momentarily, and then Oates was able to work it clear. Rob Zettler came over in a trade with San Jose, moves it out.
And Sam, thus far, both teams playing very conservative. They both have players back to help out, not allowing the other team to gain any offensive position at all. Meanwhile, Brian Sutter, the coach of this Boston team, he talked a couple of weeks ago about trying to replace Cam Neely, saying we can't replace his 50 goals. We'll score 25 and try and prevent 25. But as of late, it hasn't worked. They've allowed 18 goals in their last 4 games.
And in a long stretch, this is a team that's prided itself on defense and keeping the goals against down, and yet over the last 15 games, they've averaged more than 4 goals a game against.
Now, Sam, they've been making mistakes defensively that have really been costing them. Then, of course, we talked about the goaltending as well.
David Shaw playing it toward the net. Soderstrom making the stop. Moved out by Yves Racine and taken back by the Bruins' Don Sweeney. This is David Shaw, number 34, playing it off the board. Racine tried to move it. It was blocked. In comes Ted Donato. Winds up with a shot that's blocked by Zettler. Greg Knipscher, number 48, did not see action yesterday. Back in the lineup this afternoon. Donato pass to Knipscher. Touch shot it wide. David Shaw keeps it in for Boston. Back in the corner, Knipscher lost it. Mark Recchi is run into and knocked down. Good hit by Steve Hines of Boston. Don Sweeney back to the puck. Sweeney clears the zone. 15:40 to go in the first. Flyers and Bruins, no score as Rod Brindamore heads up ice. 93 points on the season, a career high for him. 33 goals and a career high 60 assists. Jason Bowen pinching in for Boston to keep it in, rather for Philadelphia to keep it in. Sweeney moving it. Gary Galley with a hit. In the corner, Kevin Dineen trying to get it to Steve Leach. Joseph Baranek for Philadelphia comes out of the corner, couldn't get a shot off. Good work by Jamie Huscroft, the Boston number 28. Puck taken by Don Sweeney. Sweeney moves it out of the zone. Jason Bowen there to stop it. Trying to send it back in, he does. And Huscroft back to retrieve it. He's hit by Brindamore. Joseph Stumple, number 22, with the puck. Stumple just returned from a knee injury. Back for the last 2 games.
Now, Brian Sutter mentioned the 12 forwards he has in this game today. First of all, it's been the first time all season they've all been healthy. Second of all, they will play in the playoffs.
Here's Glenn Murray breaking in and a save by Soderstrom. Cleared aside by Galley. First big chance of the game. Soderstrom with a terrific save. Brent Fedek, number 18, with a puck for Philadelphia. Rob Zettler moves it out to Andre Faust. Faust lifts in. That'll be an offside. Ahead of the play was Fedek, and the whistle stops play. With 14:24 to go in the first period, Tommy Soderstrom has kept this game scoreless with a terrific save on Glenn Murray. We'll be right back.
When it broke, he didn't make her wait a week to look at it. or give her the runaround about a missing part. He just fixed it right the first time, and for a very reasonable price. And that's pretty much the way ASE certified technician Wes Schaefer and everyone at Pep Boys does business. For service and repairs the way you deserve it, day or night, even on Sundays, come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
Hey, the Miss Perfect pageant. Yeah.
We're watching hockey.
Hockey. Let's watch both.
Miller Lite presents the Miss Perfect Face-Off.
Okay, Bob, Miss Georgia goes to the corner. She plays the fight. Here's the puck coming loose. The chop. She scores!
Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste and less filling, you can combine anything.
Oh, that'll be sashing. 2 minutes for Miss Congeniality.
Bad call.
Good beer.
Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
Tommy Soderstrom makes the first big save of this game. The Flyers had a chance and lost control of the puck in the neutral zone, and then Soderstrom came up with a great save on Glenn Murray.
Bob Zentler shoots it in. Vincent Riendo out to stop the puck. Moves it to the boards for Dave Reed, number 17. Checked there by Mark Lamb. Good hit by Glenn Wesley. And Reed sends it around the boards. Rob Zentler there to keep it in. Mark Lamb, number 22, came over from the Ottawa Senators in an early March trade. Brent Fedek passes to Mark Lamb. Lamb looking. He's checked there by Wesley. Andre Faust, number 36, moving with the puck. Drops it off for Lamb. Wesley staying with Lamb. Takes the puck back for Boston. Pass out. Hits Adam Oates in full stride. Oates one-on-one with Yushkevich and takes him out of the play. Good defensive play by Dmitry Yushkevich.
And Yushkevich has struggled this season, Sam. They were hoping for a big season from Yushkevich, but he's been making the same mistakes that he made last year as a rookie, and he just hasn't been able to overcome them.
Consistency on defense, overall defensive play, not only the defense, but the forwards as well, has hurt the Flyers this season. David Shaw moving in deep for the puck. Backhander is stopped. Good move by David Shaw, not noted for his offense, but a real good play. Mark Recchi with the puck.
Again, that's typical of what's gone on all season long.
DeMaio is hit by Shaw. Puck moves up by Adam Oates and out of the zone. Back to get it is Gary Galley. Gary has slowed down since the All-Star game. Had a terrific first half of the season. Jamie Hustroff for Boston. Holds on. Trying to get it to Daniel Narwhal. Galley, long shot, hit wide off the stick of Mikhail Renberg. Hustroff off the boards to Leap. Steve Cole. On Washington Capitol in his third season with the Bruins. Off the line comes Mark Recchi, looking to make a pass. Renberg a shot, save Riendo. The play by the Flyers, and Riendo in good position to make the shot. And the puck cleared over the boards. We have an update coming your way from John Saunders in New York. John?
Well, Sam and Joe, as you need, the Islanders have to have a win against the Rangers. They may face them in the first round of playoffs. Ray Ferraro with a nice move to beat Glenn Healy, but Mark Messier is just tied at 1-1. Sam and Joe.
Healy getting a chance to play, not seeing all that much action. Mike Richter with 41 wins this season.
Yeah, and I would think that's a big game for the Rangers. I'm not sure they want to face the Islanders in the first round of playoffs, so it certainly help them if they could knock off the Islanders, and certainly help the Philadelphia Flyers as well.
Series for the Islanders and Rangers. Oh, that went in off Riendo's leg! It bounced off the end boards, went off the back of Riendo's leg and into the net. A bad break for the Bruins, a bad bounce, if you will, and for Joseph Oranek and the Flyers, a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, right off the face-off, Sam. The Flyers win the face-off, and Yushkevich will just try and get the puck through with the wrist shot. It's well wide, but really takes a bounce off those back boards. Riendo actually could have just let the first shot go, but he goes down. The puck will come right back off his skate and into the net. Boy, he was trying to prevent the puck from coming back in front, but on his angle, he just knocked it right into the net.
Flyers with a 1-0 lead. Baranek, number 42, after the puck check by Wesley, put out in front. Riendo steered to the side, and Ted Donato takes over. Here's Al Iafredi moving down. Steve Hines against Yushkevich along the boards. Now it's Rob Brindamore picking up Hines. Puck kept in by Wesley. Donato going for it. Kevin Dineen try to kick it clear. Jason Bowen moves it ahead. Steve Hines breaks up the play. Back the other way, Ted Donato. Bowen for Philadelphia. Kevin Dineen lines up for the long shot. Fly bounces off the glass and is played by Joseph Stumple. Flyers get the lead on Yuskevich's 5th goal of the season from Baranek and Brindamore at 7:40. Hustroff sending it in. It's an icing call. Hustroff was astride from the red line, didn't get there, sent it in across the goal line, and icing is whistled.
Well, we talked about Boston, how they're having problems with their goaltending lately. Again, right off the face-off, the shot well wide, and Riendo was down on his knees. He was still on his left knee, trying to get back into the net, and just swinging his right leg around. And talk about bad luck. Boy, this Bruins team, they're playing hard. They generally play pretty well defensively. And Yuskevich, with his 5th of the season, gives the Flyers a 1-0 lead.
Flyers got off to a good start against the Florida Panthers on Thursday night. Had a 3-1 lead in the second period, but let it slip away. And a bad goal, if you will, given up by Tommy Soderstrom on the backhander from the blue line by Gord Murphy, the tire.
And he wasn't screened on the play, and it was a game Soderstrom played very well.
Murray breaks through again and is stopped for the second time. Glenn Murray showing great speed. The second time he's broken through the Flyers' defense to get a chance in front on Tommy Soderstrom. Murray centers, just tipped wide by Brent Hughes. Stumple with a back pass to Don Sweeney. Long shot deflected wide of the net by Murray. Along the boards, Hughes battling Ryan McGill. Here's Hughes heading for the net. The pass blocked by Gary Galley. Good pressure from the Bruins, and finally out Conroy able to lift it clear.
Soderstrom looks good early, Sam.
Sweeney drops it off. Hughes plays it toward the net. Off the stick of Soderstrom. They back in deep, and Adam Oates goes for it against Gary Galley. Puck moved by Recchi. In comes Dave Reed from Boston. Past Oates, and Galley plays it up the near side boards to Rob DeMaio, who clears the zone. Coming down the midway point of the first period. Marius Stachowski has trouble with Rob DeMaio. Adam Oates takes the puck. Adam Oates has scored over 100 points 4 of the last 5 seasons. The one season he didn't was the season he was traded from St. Louis to Boston. That season combined, he scored 99.
Not bad.
Great numbers. That's why he is one of the best. Riendo leaves the puck for Al Iafrate. Frady gave it up to Renberg. Mark Recchi has it for Philadelphia. Pass across it behind Rob Zettler. He shoots. Riendo the save. Gathers the puck in and stops slow. 9:32 to go in the first at the Spectrum, where the Flyers have a 1-0 lead on Boston.
We invented light beer, made the rules.
This must be the front row.
We can change them. Introducing new Light Ice from Miller. The first, the only ice-brewed, less filling beer. It's 100% ice-brewed for a taste that's more of what you want. Definitely light for less of what you don't.
Sorry.
New Light Ice from Miller.
Hey, I've been attacked by sharks. And struck by lightning. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I give it. Come on. In this league, the fans are as tough as the players.
Chelios, you're a bum!
Swim! Get real.
Logo Athletic, licensed team apparel.
Iafrate's in the penalty box for the Boston Bruins for roughing.
We talked about Tommy Soderstrom. Glenn Murray, with his great size and speed, breaks in. And again, Soderstrom well out to cut down the angle. Makes a fine pad save with his right leg. And I mentioned earlier, he's been sharp in the early going. And Sam, getting back to the game the other night against Florida, he played very well. He faced 42 shots against Florida in that 3-3 tie. But the one soft one at the end is what hurt him.
The rough stuff that started after the whistle. Iafrate calls for roughing. At 10:28, first power play of the game belongs to the Flyers, and a save by Riendo. Yuskevich and Galley play the points for Philadelphia with Mark Recchi, Rod Brindamore, and Mikhail Renberg up front. Flyers power play has been good. In the last stretch, Riendo, a great save. Sweeney moves it around the boards. Galley stops it. Recchi with a back pass to Yuskevich. 15 games, the Flyers have scored 17 power play goals. Backhanded in front, save Riendo on Renberg. And of those 17 goals, Rod Brindamore's had 9 of them.
Riendo has come back strong after giving up the goal. He's made 3 good saves on this Flyer power play.
Brindamore moves in on Gordy Roberts. Adam Oates is there as well for Boston. Laid in deep for Recchi. Picked up by Glenn Wesley. Out to Yves Brissy. One time to Detroit Red Wings. Galley, nice pass to Recchi. Sedin's hand on the shot. As Oates came over to check it from behind. Moves back to Brindamore. The back pass is to Galley. Galley turns, plays it toward the net, tipped wide by Brindamore. With 45 seconds to go on the power play for Philadelphia. They've kept the puck in the Boston zone for most of the time.
And their quickness moving the puck is what's allowing them to get the good scoring chances. Boston's trying to pressure them, but they're moving the puck quickly and getting the shot.
Recchi finds Kevin Dineen, the captain of the Flyers. Pass in front. Deflected wide by Brindamore. Good check by Glenn Wesley. Knocks down Brindamore. Recchi behind the net. Up the boards to Gary Galley. 15 seconds in the power play. Racine holds. Looks. Pass Recchi in the corner. Recchi retrieves it. Gets it to Brindamore behind the net. Wesley on him. Taken away by Gordy Roberts. He clears, and that will do it for the Flyers power play. Back is Aya Frady. Teams are at full strength. 7:25 to go in the first. Philadelphia leading 1-0. Riendo out to stop the puck. Bruins have had 7 shots on goal. Flyers have had 6. David Shaw looking up ice. Forechecking is Mark Lamb, number 22. Out of the zone, Steve Hines has it. Drives it wide of the net. And it bounces off the boards. Caroms up into the crowd, stopping play. If you look at Steve Hines, he's been bothered by some back problems, spasms. Nothing structural, no structural damage to the back, but he's been in and out of the lineup the last couple of weeks because of the back problems.
Again, we talked about Terry Simpson's team and how they have had the injuries, especially, the big guy, Eric Lindros. Well, the Bruins have had him as well. Meanwhile, we talked about the goaltending of the Flyers, and Terry Simpson said that in the last month, they have lost 7 points in the standings just because of their goaltending.
Flyers have really struggled since the All-Star break, 10-18-6.
And Sam, this was a team that finished the season last year 8-0 and started this season 11-3. The hopes were extremely high for this team, and they've just fallen apart.
Sweeney has the puck. Early December, there were 7 games over 500, and then Lindros went down with a knee injury. And it seems as if the Flyers have never been able to regain the momentum they had in the early portion of the season. Puck taken back by Hines, gets a shot off, and it's in! Steve Hines, it looked like a harmless shot. It went off the stick of Tommy Soderstrom, and the game is tied.
Well, somehow that puck fooled Soderstrom. Hines on the play ends up with the puck on his stick, and really, as you mentioned, Sam, it looked like an innocent play. He's just trying to get off a quick wrist shot on the turnover. It's from well out, and Soderstrom actually overplayed the puck. With his left leg, he extended the left leg and also had his stick there, and he just simply deflected the puck with his own stick through his legs to tie the game at 1.
Across the line, Brent Hughes with the bump. He gets a shot off the save, the rebound, score! Joseph Stumpo, and the Bruins with 2 quickies have taken the lead 2-1. Good play by Stumpo getting to the rebound. He's in some pain.
And Stumpo on the play, what he ended up doing is he ended up getting past Dave Tippett, who was coming back on the play and covering him, and he just out-muscled Tippett. Now, the first shot, Soderstrom makes a save, but there's the rebound right out in front, and coming the other way, Tippett was trying to get there a little late, and Stumpo right there to just bang it in the empty net. Soderstrom well out of the net, and a bad rebound on the play.
And that hit on the knee hurt Stumpo, who has had a knee problem and is just back. This is his 3rd game back since recovering from a knee injury. But a great play by Brent Hughes as he was going down to get a good shot on Soderstrom.
Yeah, Hughes, a good job, a good effort. He's strong. He gets the shot. That's the important thing. So many coaches in the league will say, get the puck to the net. Shoot the puck. Hughes with a nice move, and then just throws it at the net. And again, the rebound, Soderstrom has trouble controlling it, and then it was Stumpo with the shot, but it was Dave Tippett, number 14, that came back with the slash just as Stumpo was getting the shot off.
Stumpo trying to skate it off.
He's been another one of these young players that has missed some time as well. 9 games out of the lineup with a bad knee, and he's back, and he had been playing very well prior to his injury.
So, back-to-back goals for the Bruins has given them a 2-1 lead with 6 men to go here in the first period. Flyers lead the season series 2-1 with 1 tie. And this is the 5th and final game of the series. Steve Hines scoring unassisted at 13:30. 9 seconds later, Stumple with his 8 from Hughes and Iafredi at 15:39. Stumple centers for Murray. Shot it wide. Put it into the crease. Bounces up in the air, and then it's cleared out to the line. Kept in by Wesley. Inside of the net. Up the board. Redberg back for it. Glenn Murray has now had 3 chances right in front. Twice he's been robbed by Soderstrom the last time he missed the net. Icing whistled against the Flyers.
And Sam, in the first 5 to 8 minutes of this game, Philadelphia was playing well defensively. They had players coming back. They were taking the man. They were keeping everyone out of the play. But now in the last 3 or 4 minutes, boy, they have just totally broken down. They're getting beat one-on-one in their end. Their big defensemen are getting beat, and Boston is getting the chance.
5:31 to go in the first. We'll step out for a moment.
To a 7-year-old, velocity, mass, and momentum aren't as interesting as the song on the radio. And crash test dummies don't go on family vacations. But the people who buy Volkswagen Jettas do. That's why the new Jetta has dual airbags, front and rear crumple zones, side impact beams, and a rigid passenger safety cage. Velocity, mass, and momentum don't mean much to children, and we plan on keeping it that way.
Here comes a new taste from the inventor of light beer. Introducing new light ice from Miller, the first, the only ice-brewed, less-filling beer. It's 100% ice-brewed for a taste that's more of what you want. Definitely light for less of what you don't.
What kind of beer is that?
It's new light ice from Miller.
Off the face-off, Bruins control, and that shot is knocked aside. Up to the airport. It's cleared out by Joseph Baranek. Bruins with a 2-1 lead on goals, 2 goals in a span of 9 seconds by Steve Hines and Joseph Stumple.
And even that last shot, Sam, from a bad angle, Soderstrom had a problem with it. He didn't know where it was. It almost got through him and into the net.
Valley has the puck. It's been the story of the Flyers' second half. Mistakes in their own zone and the bad goals given up. And this one by Steve Hines has to be classified as a bad goal.
Yeah, it certainly is. And they tried to get a big, strong defenseman at the trading deadline, just as did most other teams, and they couldn't find one.
Sweeney trying to break in. Don Sweeney with a shot. Caught save by Soderstrom. He was out high as the goaltender plays a little deep, but he came out to glove that one. Tommy Soderstrom saying today, actually yesterday at practice, that he feels these last 3 games he can turn around, which is what has been a very disappointing season for him.
Yeah, and here again, though, he does make a good save on this last shot, Don Sweeney, and a good glove save by Soderstrom. But you know, Sam, he came into camp, he wasn't in shape, and the job was actually taken away from him by Dominic Roussel. Soderstrom had 5 shutouts in the second half of last season, came into camp not in shape, not mentally prepared to win his job back, and it was taken by Roussel.
4:38 remaining in this first period. Boston out shooting Philadelphia at 11-6. Don't forget, following the first period, John Saunders standing by in our studio in New York. We'll give you an update, scores and highlights around the NHL, and look at the playoff picture, the way things are shaping up. Final week of the season. Dmitry Yushkevich plays it across to Racine. Puck bounces down in the corner. Ryan Smolinski and Daniel Marois there for Boston. Andre Faust comes away with it. And FedEx fires in around the boards. Andre Faust takes a hit from David Shaw. Don Sweeney was hit by Mark Lamb of Philadelphia. Lamb, number 22. Played on the 1990 Edmonton Oilers Stanley Cup Championship team. Penalty called. Andre Faust took down Ryan Smolinski with a hook. And the Bruins will get a power play. Now, I don't know whether they should decline this power play or not.
Yeah.
0 for 28?
0 for 28. They haven't scored a power play goal in 6 games. Now, Faust goes off. He just pulls down the Boston player, Smolinski, right in front of referee Don Koharski. The last 6 games, as we mentioned, Sam, 0 for 28. Here it is again. Faust is back-checking on Smolinski, and he just pulls him down. There's Koharski. That's an easy call for him, and that's one of those types of penalties that your coach hates to see. I mean, that's what's considered really a bad penalty. Sam, getting back to this power play, in the 5-4 win over Ottawa 2 games ago for Boston, they went 0 for 3 in the power play and didn't get a shot on goal. And Brian Sutter talked about missing Ray Bourque, who still leads the league in shots on goal.
Bruins have not scored a power play goal in their last 6 games. When Wesley and Al Iafredi, this is Iafredi driving it from the red line into the corner. Up front, Adam Oates, Ted Donato, and Mariusz Czerkowski. In the corner, Rob Zettler moves it. Czerkowski, number 19, his second NHL game. Holds. Looking. Lays it down the boards to Donato. Gets it back. Oates battling in front. Wesley to Czerkowski. Takes the shot. Wesley turns, takes it, saves Soderstrom. They tip it for Philadelphia, able to clear.
And that's what Brian Sutter wants his players to do, is take more shots. They haven't been taking the shots. In fact, even Wesley in particular, with their lack of skill up front, before Czerkowski got here, they haven't been setting up the play.
A chance in front on the redirection by Steve Hines. The pass by Smolinski, the save made by Soderstrom. The Flyers break out. Lamb gets it across to Al Conroy. Conroy moves in on Glenn Wesley. Conroy, backhander, goes wide. Adam Oates has it. 2:20 to go in this first period. 30 seconds to go on the power play for Boston. Offside whistle against the Bruins, who are leading 2-1 at Nassau Coliseum. Rangers have scored the last 2. Mark Messier has gone 23 games without a goal before scoring this afternoon. Chicago leading 1-0 late in the first period. L.A. without Wayne Gretzky, twisted a knee yesterday. Dallas leading 2-0. Mike Modano has scored in that game, moving close to the 50-goal mark. Tampa Bay and Hartford scoreless. They've just started, and Quebec and Buffalo gets underway in just a little while.
Sam, that St. Louis-Dallas matchup, those 2 teams probably will meet in the first round. So they've got a battle going in St. Louis, and then Tuesday night they'll be back in Dallas.
Buckles across to David Shaw, plays it down. Brent Hughes back pass to Sweeney. The wrist shot knocked down in front. Hughes finds it, saves Soderstrom on the backhander. Long shot by Shaw, deflected wide of the net. Stumpel has it. Kept in by Don Sweeney. Faust is out of the penalty box. The Bruins are now 0 for their last 29 on the power play. Stumpel with the puck. Bruins still lead 2-1. Stumpel checked by Mark Lamb. Pokes it away, and Andre Faust brings it out for Philadelphia. Bruins have 14 shots on goal. Flyers only 6. This is for the Bruins style of play.
That really is. Dump it in, go after it. Brian Sutter said he was going to get his team to forecheck hard. Of course, he knows as well that the Flyers have struggled, especially their 6 defensemen, getting the puck out of the zone, and that has also led to the reason why they've allowed so many goals all season long.
Gail Renberg back for the puck, fires it out. Another important game comes up at 6 o'clock Eastern time tonight in Florida. The Panthers hosting the New Jersey Devils. The Panthers and Islanders battle for that last playoff spot, as well as the Flyers. And the Flyers are down a goal with less than a minute to go in the first period. And a whistle for icing on the Flyers will stop it. And next week, it's the playoffs. A week from today, it all begins. The Stanley Cup playoff chase. Regional coverage right here on ABC at 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 noon Central and Pacific time. Check your local listings for the game in your region. The NHL on ABC. The Stanley Cup playoffs begin a week from today.
Yeah, Sam, that's going to be an interesting situation to see how Florida finishes up. Their last 3 games of the season are all at home, yet they've had a better road record than they have a home record.
They just haven't been able to win lately, getting a lot of ties. They play a very tight-checking, conservative-style game.
Yeah, 1 win in their last 10 games, but 5 ties to go along with that.
But as Kevin Ledeen of the Flyers said after the game the other night, well, if they got 84 ties, they'd have 84 points and they'd be in the playoffs.
They'd be there.
If the playoffs began today in the Eastern Conference, it would be the Rangers and the Islanders. Montreal and Buffalo, with Montreal having home ice. New Jersey and Boston, with the Devils getting home ice, and Pittsburgh and Washington. Pittsburgh has had back-to-back brutal games, losing 7-2 to New Jersey and 9-1 last night to Montreal. Out west, Detroit and San Jose, Dallas, St. Louis, Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, and Chicago. That's if the playoffs begin today.
I think Pittsburgh just wants the playoffs to start and forget these last couple of games of the regular season. 7-2 loss to New Jersey, and then 9-1 last night against Montreal.
Dave Reed along the boards for Boston. Slides by the crease and is played by Kevin Dineen with 20 seconds to go in the first period. Brady takes a hit from Rod Brindamore, one of the strongest players on the Flyers team. Taken away by Dave Reed. Reed's pass was tipped. Kevin Dineen finds it out to Joseph Baranek. Baranek moving down, and the horn sounds before a shot gets off, and that ends the first period. 14 shots for the Boston Bruins. They scored 2 goals in a span of 9 seconds and have a 2-1 lead end of 1. Stay tuned for John Saunders in New York, scores and highlights, and an update on the playoff picture after this from our ABC station.
Boston 14.